Just take a couple of minutes, introduce yourself, and then just tell me a little bit about yourselves.
Okay. Well, I'm Gisele Desfosses. I was born Aubin, Aubin, which is very French, and so is Desfosses. And we're retired farmers. And Roger was in construction, so I'll let him talk about that.
Good. Introduce yourself.
I was in construction for 40 years, I guess.
Yeah, we have to see your name.
And Roger Desfosses, he was construction for 40 years and plus farming, so that's how we made a living.
That's great. And so how long have you both known Jerry for?
Oh my gosh. The very first time that we met Jerry was
Cecil.
With Cecil Blackburn. And he sold us an investment for our first grandchild, which was Alana, and she is now 31 years old. So, and she's
Wow.
getting married in August. So, and now and then of course we had to follow through with every grandchild, and so he was our number one guy. And now we have a great-grandson, and he did the same thing for our great-grandson.
So a new generation.
Yeah.
Isn't that
And
great?
Jerry is so easy to talk to, and he'll even come to your home if you need to. So, and we never feel pressured or rushed. So that's what's nice about him, you know.
Interesting. And so you knew him through Cecil, and then, but you chose him for your.
All our financial advising. Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah,
great?
yeah.
And so you've had other choices too. What makes
Oh,
Jerry
yes.
different?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you just felt comfortable. He's very honest, and he explained things very well.
That's number one. You look honest.
I'm sorry, say that again?
That's number one. Yeah, he looks honest.
He looks
us.
honest. So the honesty is the piece
We
that
put a
is
lot of
important.
faith in him. Yeah.
Right. But you were also saying that he explains. So he's also
Yeah.
a teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he knows what he's talking about. And then if there is something that's not quite right, he doesn't mind switching things around, and no, he's very reliable.
So I'm hearing that flexibility or adaptability to the circumstances for Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with that, you're saying that he's knowledgeable?
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very.
And
very.
yeah. And you were saying that he explains things.
Yeah.
And,
Some of it doesn't stay with you because, I mean, let's face it, it wasn't something that we knew about, So, and there is so many fly-by-night, people. So
you're right.
You
So how do you make sure you don't get?
Well, Cecil was very honest too. So if Jerry was working for Cecil
Oh,
Blackburn,
we put a lot of trust in him, and both of them right away.
Yeah.
Right. And so you knew Cecil, and if Cecil felt highly of Jerry, then he must be a good guy. Is that?
Yeah.
And so you're saying that you had other choices, but you came to him because of his
honesty and explaining things, and not the pressure, because a lot of these people, they, a lot of pressure, but no, not Jerry. He gives you the time to think about it, and no, he's, of all the people that we've met, I think he's so down to earth, So.
And so knowing that you can trust him, you've placed your money and your faith in him.
That's right.
What has that allowed the two of you to do?
Oh, we travel a lot.
Yes?
Yes. And peace of mind.
That peace of mind, that's an important piece. What does that mean for you when you have the peace of mind?
Well, not to have to worry about things, because with the economy the way it is, you just never know. And there's no guarantee. I mean, we all make mistakes, and, so you just have to have faith in the person that you trust and go from there.
And so when you do have that, you're saying you travel a lot. What else? What does that mean for your lifestyle? You were talking about your grandchildren.
Oh yeah, well, don't spend that much money.
No?
No, not
We
anymore.
don't spend
Well,
we don't spend it foolishly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were raised, the farming background, so you work hard for your
You
money.
work hard and you
Yeah.
keep it.
Yeah.
You don't,
Yeah.
nothing foolish.
We did it all ourselves, and I was the truck driver. I was the, I'm partly deaf because of the, because of the grain hoggers, and I was. He always said I was short, close to the ground, so it was easier for me to shovel.
Oh, you were a bit of a con guy there.
I could tease you pretty good.
Yeah.
We've been married almost 60 years this fall, so.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And so I hear you've worked hard, you've built this life, and you've built this lifestyle, and you've earned enough finances, but you have it, leaving it with Jerry or giving it to Jerry in that stewardship. What is that, in terms of?
Well, we never worry about it, we never even, and if I have a question, I can phone Jerry at any time, and he'll make the time, to answer your questions, or even to see you, or come to the house, and,
It's different, isn't it?
yeah, because nowadays, you have an appointment at 1 o'clock, and you have to be out by 2. With Jerry, it's not like that. You might have an appointment, but you can stay as long as, unless there's somebody else waiting, and usually and the girls are really good too, Tracy is
Tracy, yeah.
very nice,
So, you other people have mentioned Tracy as well. So there's a team. here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes,
Mhm.
yes. And she knows what goes on, and,
Well, she knows Jerry really
Yeah.
well too. So.
well, she's been with Jerry for a few years too,
Yeah.
And he had Nicole earlier, the girl from Beaumont. She was awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when you call here, it sounds like you feel like they know you.
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh, definitely. They even know your voice. You don't have to say your name. They know your voice.
Amazing, eh?
Must be that French accent.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. But when you know that they know you, and Jerry's giving you advice, I would think that makes it a little easier.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
easier. A lot easier.
And
Yeah.
we mustn't forget, we also gave advice to Jerry about farming.
Oh, there you go. So it was a two-way street. So
Yeah.
so you
I
did.
think maybe-
That's really interesting because you're saying yes, you connect with him on this level,
Yeah.
but you connect with him on a personal
Yeah.
level too.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So what is it that makes a
Yeah.
big difference,
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
it?
yes, yes. Maybe it's the farming background, or, because ordinarily farmers are very friendly, and very trusting.
Mhm.
So, well, I don't know, it's just something, sometimes you click with people, and
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't work.
Does that make a difference,
Yes,
especially when you're handing over your money?
Yeah.
yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
You mentioned something too, actually, when you first came, that you've set up investments for your grandchildren.
Mhm. All of them, yeah, 7 of them, and now we have a great-grandson, and we invested for him too. And these investments help them, like our granddaughter went to university, and she didn't need a student loan, and that was a big, I know a lot of people say student loan is not a bad thing, but it could be a burden for some of them, so,
So there's this effect on other generations.
Oh,
So
yes.
even though I know it's helped you, I'm also hearing that there's a bigger thing here.
Yeah, oh yeah, all the kids, all the grandkids have,
Benefited.
enjoyed, yeah, and, there's 2 of them married, and, life goes on,
Isn't that
Mhm.
great?
yeah.
So let's tell me the story. So you getting to know Jerry on the farming. It sounds like you've become friends too.
Yeah, oh, yes, yes, and we know his wife, we met his kids, and at Christmas, what is nice about Jerry, at Christmas, he always has a get-together for all his customers, as we've met quite a few people through him,
Yeah.
and it's nice because you don't get that anymore,
So it's really special.
Yeah, yeah, and it's expensive nowadays to put something like this on. We all go home with a poinsettia, and he has door prizes. Sometimes I win, and I've even promised a pie if I won.
Did that work? Did that increase your chances?
No, it didn't increase, but they did get the pie. Yeah.
So there's something special. There's something different then.
Oh yes, yeah. I don't think I could do that with anybody else.
Yeah. Have you ever considered investing, like in a bank or another company or whatever?
Well, we did a little bit, but for the return that you get from the bank, forget it. Yeah.
What's the difference, do you think, for you?
Well,
Oh, you get different, with the bank and then, you get different deal. It's,
well,
you
at
know,
the bank.
with him, you're very personal. You can talk whatever you want to talk about. I mean, sometimes it's not even business, but we can talk about it anyway, so.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah.
And with the bank, you never get the same person.
Right.
You
So it's
Just-
kind of a revolving door.
Yeah, yeah.
What does that mean when you don't get the same person?
It's,
Well, you get to know them. You get to know how they think,
Yeah.
and how much you can trust them.
Yeah, but
Right.
That
people
trust.
at the bank usually don't stay long enough at the bank to get to know people really well.
Right. So they can't help you make informed
Yeah,
decisions.
they go spend 3-4 years at the bank and then they're gone someplace else.
Right.
So
Right.
the bank trains a lot of people.
Right. And so here, he knows you and you know him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great.
And he knows our sons, and he knows our daughter, and and our grandsons too, and
Yeah.
granddaughter.
Hmm.
So, yeah, no, it's been great, so far. So far, okay.
Tomorrow's another day.
It
No.
won't stop. It won't stop.
Yeah.
And so, in some ways, you're creating a message for people who are just even considering, like they don't know who to invest in, somebody who's starting out.
Uh-huh.
What is it about Lifetrek and Jerry that you're going to say, no, this is where you want to go?
I think it's the number one is the trust,
Yeah.
The number one is, and then the openness that he has with people. He seems to connect with people easy. We've seen him, for example, the Christmas get together.
Mm-hmm.
He knows everybody by first name. He knows, and he goes around, makes sure that everybody is having a good time and having, sometimes, make sure you get the poinsettia.
It sounds like you count on that point.
Oh, yes, because I'm not very good at getting the door prizes, so
Very good.
even with the promise of a pie.
So, some of the things that you're talking about is, yes, you know him and he knows you, but it allows him to give you a different level of financial advice
Yes.
because he knows your life.
Yeah,
Yeah, he knows our life.
yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
your grandchildren.
Yeah,
He knows
yeah.
who you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he knows, in fact, I make the same banana loaf as his mom.
And when you think of today and today's age, what does that mean?
Well, today, people don't take time,
Right.
They just don't take the time to get to know people, really,
Well, it's all business now, more and more. At least we got friendly with our businessmen. And, but that's hard. There's a lot of people don't even know they're businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I know, that he has to live, and he does get some support from the companies that we invest with, but it's not his number one priority.
Right.
He wants you to be confident and okay with whatever he suggests.
So he's a partner,
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
more than just
And
a.
then, once in a while, you want to use some of that money, then he will tell you which is the best way to go, and, and, You know, and no, it's
Pretty fortunate.
He's a pretty nice guy. You know.
And so you look at your life now in retirement, and you were saying you travel a little bit.
Yeah. We've been retired 13 years now.
We're almost
so.
finished that we had.
Yeah, now the health issues are, you know, you really
Yeah.
can't
You don't want to
travel.
get too far away from home.
Yeah.
And yet there's an opportunity to make the best of your of your
Yes,
life, right?
yes, yeah.
That health piece is important, but you've been able to enjoy your good health, and you have the financial security
Yeah,
to.
Yeah.
yeah. I've never really worried about that, you know.
Never worried about it.
No.
Oh, it's because you had a good husband.
Yeah, no. Who makes the decisions here? Can't you tell?
Yes. It looks like a pretty good partnership. 60 years, you said, huh?
Yeah, but we
Oh,
went to school together, and he was a terrible kid.
Was he-
An only child.
So have you straightened him out yet?
Oh, well, I don't
Yeah,
know
she
if that's...
straightened him out. She
yeah.
straightened me out.
I don't know.
An only child, so
Yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah.
a tough one to live by.
Right?
Well, you had no problem. You only had one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He's the only
That's
one.
great, but no, it sounds like you've partnered in so many things, and you have Jerry as a financial partner
Mhm.
to help you through
Yeah.
these very special years.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Is there anything else you want me to know or want Lifetrek to know?
Yeah.
I think we probably covered everything, you know.
Yeah.
You know, to me, the number one is the honesty. You know, you have to have the trust and honesty, and
Oh, we put trust into him quite a bit.
yeah, and and what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
You know. It's,
Yeah.
You know, it just
Interesting.
yeah.
So, and that's, what you're saying is so, it's shared by so many other people that he gets to know you and then gives you advice based on his knowledge. And he is very knowledgeable, wouldn't you say? About the,
Yeah, and he reads, you know, a lot, and he's up to date with what's going on, you know, and like, you know, not too long ago, it was one local company that folded, and I found out about it, and, you know, then I called him and we talked about it, because we did at one time had some investment with that company, and he said, well, it's not as bad as it looks, you know. And sometimes newspapers are not honest too, you know, so you got to be careful, you know.
so you were able to come back to
Yeah.
him, ask him,
Mhm.
and
Although we weren't involved with it anymore, but still, you know, say,
You
oh,
care.
what if, you know,
yeah.
you know.
And so there's a combination here that you're talking about. He has the knowledge of the industry, but he also has knowledge of you.
Mhm.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah, and he knows, you know, that this is our life saving, and, you know, we don't want to just throw it away, you know. There's always chances, you know. There's no guarantees, you know, but, you know, because he keeps, you know, he could maybe prevent something from happening, you know, by switching things around, you know.
Yeah, and that happens, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's
Yeah.
the advice is always there for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful, great story.
Yeah.
I sure appreciate you sharing it.
Oh,
It sounds
okay.
like you've worked hard and you have some rewards now, not just in
Yeah.
not just in the money, which is
Yeah,
part of it,
we're-
but the legacy.
And we're 82 years old, so, you know, it's hopefully there's
Good
a few,
life.
Yeah, hopefully there's a few more years, but, you know,
Yeah,
Roger has some health issues. I did too, but, you know, it's all part of life.
it's
you know.
all part of it. That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Very
There's
good.
no guarantees on when it's going to hit.
Well,
you know.
health is, comes and go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it sounds like you're grateful, and
Yeah.
that's the healthiest thing.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Thank
lovely.
you.
Well, thank you so much for taking
Oh,
the
you're
time and
welcome.
sharing your
Yeah,
information.
Yeah, welcome.
Good.